you the chairman of the insurance committee?
No, Wesley is.
That's why I was asking. I ain't never ran a meeting. If I got a chance to try to do it one time, I'm gonna do it, you know what I mean? It's like,
Well, you were the last time.
I don't even have no idea what it's about,
Yeah,
but
you said the prayer last
Yes,
time.
you can go to call for it.
I'm gonna need a little coaching, so what do? Just say, hey, we'll call the meeting to order, right? Okay, and,
I'll call the meeting to order and
And the time.
and the time is 6:33 PM on the 15th of March, 2023, and we are here to discuss health insurance rate renewal proposal.
this is our first insurance committee meeting. So make sure you guys understand, this is just for health insurance, what we're talking about tonight, okay? There's a health insurance renewal. Currently, we were with Local Choice Program. That is our current carrier, Local Choice Health Benefits Program. And it's, I think, done through the Virginia Department of Human Resource Management. Am I right about that? But
Anthem.
it's actually a state program, but
Human resources.
it's called Local Choice. We've been with them certainly the 12 years I've been here. And we're pleased to announce, and if you go to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 page, that gives you the instructions for Carol to do the renewals. But we're pleased to announce to you today that there is no increase in cost to the town or to the employee. For similar coverage, there were a few changes. Most of the changes that I saw were associated with more telehealth opportunities and that kind of thing. It really wasn't a change in coverage. But if you do have any questions, I do think this is quite interesting and important.
I've never seen it stay the same or go down, so is it because I know we had one retiree that was on our insurance past
That
this
may
year?
have something to do with it. I think the retirees are, keeping the retiree eligible is a pretty expensive option for the town.
One of them passed,
I think that's correct.
probably helped not raise the rate.
And maybe we didn't have any,
The rates, period.
yeah, I don't think we had any catastrophic events like cancer or something like that this year. But I think last year was 9%, if I'm not mistaken, and it was 0 this year. And I'm here to answer any questions, but I do think the spreadsheet that was prepared by one of you ladies, okay, that put it together, the monthly costs are at the top and in the color shaded areas, but I think if you look at the lower boxes, I think it's pretty important. You look at the monthly total and the annual total. Annually, the employees contribute or expected to contribute $137,010.24, and a very nice benefit to the employees. The employer is anticipated to pay $727,325.76 towards health insurance. And speaking for the employees, I'd like to say thank you. That has been very gracious, and we are very appreciative, and that is a huge benefit and help to the employees, obviously, and to our families. And if you have any questions, I probably will defer to Carol and or Jackie.
When we hire people, we make sure that's known as a perk, correct?
During the interview process, we typically tell them, yeah.
Because, I mean, that's a huge perk. Even those that are existing employees, we need all of them, we're not saying, look, hey, you need to pat us on the back, because it's been a practice for years. But
It's a perk. When we tell folks that we pay their health insurance as an employee, they definitely take interest in that. Not so much the young guys.
yeah, the young ones.
Young ones don't pay as much attention to retirement and health insurance, but folks that look like me probably pay more attention to it than anybody else.
Also, once you get kids, when you get kids involved, they're going to.
I will point out to you on the, there are 2 plans, and we have the option. The town pays 100%. If you look at these numbers, the town will pay 100% for the employee for the 1,000 plan. But we give the employee an option to buy up. My microphone's sliding around. That the employee can buy up to the 500 plan, and then they do pay out of pocket a portion. And in this particular case, a 500 plan buy up would be $39 a month. And the difference between 1,000 and 500 is the deductible portion, the cost of the deductible.
So, for instance, if somebody wanted to buy up to the 500 plan,
Mm-hmm.
that $39 is what they're paying,
Out of pocket. Mm-hmm.
which is just the difference between the two.
Between the 2 different plans, yep. And what 1,000 represents is a $1,000 deductible, and what the 500 represents is a $500 deductible. I assume it's per occurrence or per event, and I'm sure the insurance company don't have to figure that out. Pretty low. It's tough to find for $39 a month is a good deal. Now, if you remember, and I don't know, Eric may remember, 12 years ago we were on the 100 plan. We had a $100 deductible, which was pretty low, and so we've changed that. We have degraded somewhat. We maintained the 100% payment, but now we only pay 100% of the $1,000 deductible. And that's when times were tough 12 years ago when we were really scratching around trying to figure out what to do. And so we did have some cost savings. The employee was still covered, but if they had an event, the deductible was appreciably more. Okay. So the 1,000 is the standard, 500 is the buy-up, and the buy-up is the responsibility of the employee.
And you see in the budget process that this is something we don't need to be cutting, correct? I'm asking that. I don't think so, but I'm asking.
Yeah. If there is something that I would ask you to try to retain, it would be this in the budget process, yeah. The health insurance, if you call a staff meeting and I'm talking, you'll get 3 or 4 people. You call a staff meeting and talk about health insurance, boom, everybody's here, and their families and their wives, and they have lists of questions and all this kind of thing. It's kind of important, especially if you have kids. You're going to get a big turnout, and I think it's one of the things the employees do pay a lot of attention to.
This is for all employees, whether you're making 16 an hour or you're making.
I was about to ask that because I
Same-
wanted to know if the.
It is the same, yeah. And between me or one of the guys in the garbage crews, but
Yeah, that's exactly
it's
what I was going to ask.
the same
because they're
cost.
the lowest paid town employees, and they need a health insurance too.
But I don't know if any of them have family plans, but we pay 100% of their health insurance for them as an individual. Obviously, it's tougher to pay a family plan,
The,
making $16 an hour than it
Option.
is.
I don't think any of them have a family. I think maybe a couple. I think a couple, but those are street guys. Maybe the sanitation workers have family.
And they've got I went to a meeting and, a couple of weeks ago, and, I found out there were a couple of free things that they could go. There's a wellness program, there's a legal, there's a course that goes through for free advice and financial free advice. We can also get, every 2 years, we can have like, a wellness thing where they
Say
come.
you used to be, I heard that they could come in-house and do a wellness exam.
That's right, they'll come and take your blood pressure, your,
Cholesterol,
well, that gives you your cholesterol.
blood work.
Cholesterol, blood pressure, and, what is it with your weight?
BMI.
Body mass.
BMI.
You might.
I know nothing about that.
So you know, too,
I don't want to hear about this, I don't even.
Should talk
this
about
plan does provide a flu shot, and most of the employees, I'd say at least half the employees take advantage of getting a flu shot every year. So they, Spencer Drugs has been doing that for several years for us.
Oh, I got it through school, so.
it. I got it.
And I think there's probably a lot more, if you read this closely, I think there's a lot more telehealth options where you don't necessarily have to go to a doctor, where you can call in. I've never done it myself. I think my wife's called in for the kids a time or two, but I've never done it myself and spoken to the doctor online and all that. But I do
Nurse
see
practitioner.
more and more options of those kinds of things being made available.
I have to. It's more convenient when you,
It's just a basic.
yeah, when you're not dealing with something
A
serious.
sore throat or whatever.
Yeah, it's really convenient. It's even convenient for, because they gave it to the teachers because this last 3 years, once COVID came into play, has been kind of stressful on the kids, families, and the educational program. So they offered it to us so that when we get a little overwhelmed, we can call and just vent.
I think there's a mental health portion to this. There's a alcohol, drug, substance abuse, addiction portion to it that they can use, and all those kinds of things. So, I haven't had any complaints about our health insurance. I think cost-wise for obvious reasons, but also, you know,
And the only
we-
reason I asked you just.
we've raised 2 kids on it and haven't had any
I
problems
just
with it.
asked you simply budget-wise because it is a $727,000
It is.
expenditure. So I always feel certain that you would have to fight us up here to not give it to the employee. But we need to hear you as the.
I think it's my expectation, my recommendation would be to obviously renew.
It should always be, in my opinion, that should always be at like the bottom of the cut list. That
Yeah.
Come down to
So
it.
in my
It's
opinion, I'll make
a big
a
deal.
motion that we approve to the full council to approve the insurance renewal rates as presented for 2023 through 2024.
I second.
Harmony. else to discuss?
I have nothing else insurance-wise, but what we can do, so you know, we have insurance renewals through the course of the year, you new guys. We've had a health insurance, and you saw it was, I think we had to have a response in by the 1st of April, and that's what we're doing in March. We've got property and casualty,
Okay.
which is workers' comp, it's, vehicles, all those kind of things, liability coverages, and then we have certain other things that we pay in December. We have a airport liability policy we pay in December, and then we have another fire department policy that we pay in December that we just paid this past year, and it'll be again due in December, and I think that covers equipment, and I think there are also some additional, health benefits and things for the fire department that are included in that, and I think that's Chesterfield Insurance, is who we've been dealing with.
Chesterfield.
Chesterfield Insurance. So there's really 4 big renewals or main renewals. This is by far the largest. The second largest would be the property casualty portion of it, and then the airport is the smallest, like $12,000, and then the fire department is nominal as compared to these. I can't quote you the figure exactly, but there's 4 renewals, 2 that take effect in July, and 2 that take effect because their premiums are due in December, so they take effect on a calendar year basis.
All right. So now declare the meeting adjourned. Is that it?
Unless you have a question.
I have no questions myself. Ms. Floette?
I asked her when I wanted to know, and that was if it was offered to the
But they,
sanitation department.
but it does not apply to part-time employees.
No.
It's only a full-time employee, not a full-time equivalent or anything like that, just a full-time position. Okay.
Gotcha.
And really, the only part-timers we have are bus drivers, for the most part. We may hire somebody to pick up litter or something periodically, or a side job, but for the most part, bus drivers.
Well, the meeting is adjourned.